All right, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom, a salute to the hopefully elect. All right, so I got this clip. It's not real long, but I got it from a ad commercial on YouTube, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it. And it goes into how they are trying to erase slavery from the schools, teaching, and also history. They want you to forget all the atrocities that they did to our people. Now, when I was coming up, they taught it. They taught it in schools. They taught about history. That was a major part in world history when you had a history class. But now I believe they don't even pretty much bring it up because they're trying to bring their society in, whereas though this new world order, they want everybody docile and like robots, sort of say. They don't want any pushback. They don't want any thing to do with the Most High and His Son. It's all Satanism and occultism and basically left hand worship of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, this is the way. This is his society, but we're telling you that this society is played out, is going out of here, you know. And people, I could just quote the scripture. What's that? Proverbs 29 and I believe it's 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And you pretty much got people mourning. This can't be a righteous society. Even the heathens are complaining about how things are going on. I'm not talking about the upper elite class. They probably even complaining, but I'm just talking about your regular everyday citizen. They're complaining about how prices are going up. It's just all around chaos, you know. So in a righteous society, the average person is going to be good. Well, the average Israelite, I'm going to say that. Because you heathens, y'all have to pay for everything y'all did to us, going all the way back, even before Egypt, I believe. But Egypt, you had those Hamites, destroying us. Just like that Ghana president, which I believe he's a Hamite. He's I think Jake trying to get reparations of some sort, and he's trying to use that and piggyback off of that movement, and he's trying to capitalize off it. And so these heathens, they always were confederate with the enemy. They want to make it. They're trying to double back. They want to make it seem like the Africans didn't sell us Hebrews. The Africans had a part. The so-called Hamites, not the so-called, the Hamites, the so-called Africans, which are the Hamites. They made deals and undercut deals, even our own people. You see those guys like Umar Jackson, the Pan-African, and all these Pan-African demons. They were back then doing the same thing as they're doing now, trying to cut deals with the Hamites and Esau. They all mixed in with one against you Jakes. You see, they running scams and all that against you Jakes. You know, Esau has always did deals to benefit with Esau against Israel. All right, so let me go ahead and play this clip. And I believe it's a book. It's called, I might get it. I gotta get it to check it out. So let's go ahead and play it.
In a way, we thought of you almost as a very superior pet. Well, I remember quite well how those polo.
So that's an old clip. Let's play it again. That's an old clip dating, I believe, by the way it looks, you could tell it's probably in the 40s or 50s, maybe even the 60s. And you should see here Esau said he looked at, or the history was saying that they looked at Jake as a pet. And basically you were treated like a pet. And that on a deeper level, on another level, that was our punishment. If you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that goes into all the curses that was put upon us, which our enemies had took advantage of us. Let's go ahead and play it again.
In a way, we thought of you almost as a very superior pet. Well, I remember quite well how those polo children used to have to eat. They were fed in boxes and troughs under the house. They were fed cornmeal, mush, and beans. When this was poured into their box, they would gather around it, the same as we see pigs, horses, and cattle gather around troughs today.
They fed our children in troughs and called them pets. It's not in your school curriculum and it's not in the History Channel documentaries, but it's in Black AF history. This book connects every suppressed story that they want you to forget. And right now, leaders are rewriting textbooks to erase the history. They're sanitizing our pain, turning slavery into a job program, and selling you a fairy tale America that never existed. If you don't care, they win.
Yeah, what they trying to do is they trying to bring in that new world order. So they don't want you going in with that mindset of they are our enemies. Just like you have those Sambos, what's that, like Anton Daniels, what's the other coon, the other Sambo, I believe he's an Arab, Myron Gaines, you know, with them guys in the Manosphere. Kevin Samuels had sponsored these guys, and that's why the Lord took, you know, Kevin Samuels was cool and all, but he was listening to a lot of the elders and apostles and trying to do his own thing, and it don't work like that, you know. You can't change what the Lord already set up. I mean, I believe he meant well. He was trying to, you know, and I watched his videos, you know, he had good videos, you know, but the prophecies wasn't for, and I'm not saying that, you know, so-called black men and women can't get together, but the scripture says otherwise, you know. He was promoting marriage, and the scripture said that the Lord came to divide, you know. But anyway, those Sambos like that, they were doing the same thing they were in their past life. That same spirit that they got, you know. Let me finish playing this.
You stay quiet, your kids will grow up learning lies. Black AF history puts the ugly, unfiltered truth back in your hands. So if you see the orange card down below, that means that this book is still available, and you can grab it and fight back before they try to bury this truth again.
Well, in a way, we thought of you almost as a very superior pet.
Yeah, so they're trying to erase. They're trying to take slavery out. They're trying to erase what happened to us, and they treated Jake horrible. But on a good note, let's read the future and see what's gonna taking place over at Obadiah. Let's get it. Yep, this is Obadiah chapter 1, and I'll go to I'll start at 10, and even up here in 7 is good. But you brothers, a lot of you brothers already know. For the people that watch this video, just read this whole chapter. But I'm gonna go right here to 10, and it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and they shall be cut off forever." They're ashamed of the past. That's why they try to take slavery and everything they did to us, even the civil rights moments and all that, and all the Jim Crow, the laws they're ashamed of that, you know. They are ashamed of that. So that's why they're trying to take it out of the curriculum. It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners enter into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Jerusalem are you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, even though was as one of them. Yeah. So when we were down as a nation, all these other nations came up against us. You stood on the side, and you was down with it. You looked upon us, and you was like, "Oh, let me get in on that." You know. Let me get in on that. Let me get in on that their destruction. You ain't try to help. You was down with our downfall. It says, but thou should have not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger. Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of their distress. Right. That proud devil, you could even hear it in his voice. We looked at you as pets. Right. And they still do to a certain extent. It says, thou should have not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou should have not have looked onto their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. I want to go down straight to the point. It says, verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. You hear that? And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So there you go. You know, so, yeah, I just wanted to bring that to, I know brothers might have saw that commercial or that ad, you know, and I saw it, I was like, man, that's the spirit, you know. But I hope this was edifying to this particular lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, Rakah Kwadash. Till again, Shalom.